Hey loves, and welcome back to another Q&A session where you ask your questions and we answer. And I like the sound of that. I'm thinking of calling it Kelechi's Corner, your questions, our answers. Our answers in the sense that I want to create a very responsive and engaging community that can help each other grow and share thoughts, opinions, ideas, not just from me, but from everyone watching and listening and engaging as well. So I'm still kind of figuring out the style of this episode, of this series. I'm trying to figure out if I want to incorporate it into my typical content, like my beauty content, my lifestyle content, me driving and answering questions, me eating and answering questions, me doing things that I usually do and answering questions. Or should I just make it a standalone series where I just sit down like I am right now and answer your questions? Let me know down in the comment section. But in today's video, or in this episode, I'm going to be answering a question, but I'm also going to be getting ready because I feel like it's always fun when you're doing something and you're communicating. It's more engaging, I think, in my own thoughts, in my own opinion. So I'm going to quickly get ready and start this video. So first thing I want to do is to do my prep. We already know the routine: moisturize, prime, get the base ready for the makeup, get the base ready for the face. Come on, get the base ready for the face. Or get the face ready for the base. Oh my god. So in that way it works. I'm just moisturizing my face heavily. I'm gonna go in with serum today. I felt like doing my makeup, engaging with you guys, nothing too serious, and also use this last couple of weeks to plan out the year. I'm trying to take it slow because sometimes taking it slow is all you need. I feel like we're in this fast-paced era where everyone is moving so fast and you feel like you also need to move fast. No, take your time and do things at your pace. Right? I'm not a, go hard girl. I'm more of a go easy, go slow, girl. And most times, whenever I try to apply everyone's method to my life or strategy, or this is how to do it, exercise 10 times a week, it doesn't work for me. I will break down. So I'm learning to do things at my own pace and, in a space that I'm comfortable in. So I have moisturized, I have primed. I'm going to go ahead to read out the question for today. Okay? So I've gotten a lot of questions, and I love the fact that you guys are pouring your frustrations, your heart out. And most of the questions are really beefy in the sense that there are a lot of things that are included in it. But I'm going to read this one. This one is from Wisdom, and she says, "Hello, my name is Wisdom Onyeka. I have a lot to ask. I have a YouTube channel that I started up late last year, and I became very consistent on it during July of this year. I have over 490 subscribers, but I have a question. I have been watching a lot of videos on how to scale up on YouTube, and I started creating videos on how to grow and mistakes I made as a new YouTuber. But I haven't been getting or reaching a large audience. I don't know if it's because of my content or just because it's from me. I feel very frustrated when I post my videos, seeing the views, and everything makes me feel sad because I know how long it takes for me to research, script, plan, edit, and post. I have a camera. That wasn't the easiest thing for me to get. And I feel frustrated because I can't get the money back or earn for what I spent for. My channel is IamWizzy, and I have been asking myself a lot of questions, especially on the note of, what if this platform isn't for me? Please, can you encourage me through your little beginnings? What I want to do is to get my notepad because it's a lot, But I want to break it down into different things and then be able to take it up from there. So I want to quickly break down your question, right? And in case you see me looking down, that's because I've written down some key points that I wanted to highlight. So in terms of consistency, you've been consistent for the past 3 to 4 months, and that's since July. We're currently in October. You have been on YouTube for the past 1 year. You've been in the YouTube growth niche. You have almost 500 subscribers. You've invested in a camera, and you're currently having self-doubt and a little bit frustrated because you're not getting the results that you hoped or you want to get, right? So that's a breakdown of your story. I'm going to try to just highlight my face, guys. This is a mix of intellect with beauty and brains. That's what we're gonna call. Should we call this beauty and brains? Maybe. Honestly, I feel like anyone who is a creative or just anyone who is just working hard goes through this phase. It doesn't have to be YouTube or a content creator. It could be like your conventional 9 to 5. You feel like you're putting in so much work, but you're not getting recognized. You're not seeing the results that you want. And it's really tough. I have to be honest with you. But I remember when I started off YouTube, I feel like I've said this over and over again. I know a lot of people have their own story, but this is mine, right? I started off YouTube in early, I want to say 2016, 2017, late 2016, early 2017. That is like, how many years now? Oh, that's a long time, maybe like 8 years. But I started a while back. And I started off YouTube genuinely because I was so passionate about creating. I loved being in front of the camera, right? And prior to that, I was creating Instagram content. I was so obsessed with creating. Like that's what I'm gonna use, right? In a way that I enjoyed it, I loved it, and I did it without looking for a reward. I started off YouTube in 2016. I don't want to think about my first video, but like I said, I was utterly in love with creating, that making money or profiting, or I didn't even know the benefits that YouTube entailed at that time, right? I knew that people were making money, but I didn't know the kind of money they were making, right? So the way that I started off YouTube was the mindset that like this is a hobby for me, like this is what I enjoyed. Like if they ask me what are your hobbies, I'm like, oh, creating content, being on YouTube, filming, or editing and all of that. So for me, it's a different story for me entirely. It's something that I am and I was passionate about. Now I started off YouTube with my phone at the time, and I had to get 2 jobs, guys. Mind you, I was in school. When I tell you that it was the absolute ghetto, I fell sick multiple times because I was living on like 2 hours of sleep every day. My classes started from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. I had night shifts from 6 p.m. till 6 a.m., 12 hours night shift. And I did that for a while just so I could be able to afford to get myself a camera because it was something that I wanted. I wasn't buying a camera because I wanted to make money from YouTube. I was buying a camera just to fuel my passion. And when I got that camera, oh my God, I still have that camera here, by the way. It has sentimental value for me, right? I got that camera and I quit my job because I had achieved what I wanted to achieve. Mind you, I didn't have to work, right? I only had to work because I didn't have the money to pay for or to buy my camera. It was out of my monthly budget. The only money I had for my monthly budget was for my accommodation, for my feeding, and like every other thing. But cameras are expensive. It's an investment. So I had to work for, I think it was a month or 2 for me to be able to afford that camera and the lens and my entire setup, my camera, my lens, my ring light, like the entire YouTube setup. So that was a sacrifice that I had to make without expecting anything in return. But again, this is my story. Now, I did YouTube for, I want to say, maybe 3 to 4 years before I started actually growing. And the way that I started off YouTube doing beauty content because I knew how to make up, but also because I feel like every girl was doing beauty content. So why shouldn't I do beauty content? Why? So I thought that was going to be my gold mine. So I started off doing beauty content, and I wasn't getting the traction I wanted to get. You can check my old videos and see, right? My beauty videos were pretty basic, nothing was happening with the beauty. Now, mind you, I had a hidden talent that I thought was overlooked, or that I overlooked, that I thought that no one would really appreciate, and that was like DIYs. Like when it comes to anything DIYs with my hands and my brain, that's how I work, right? That's my strength, right? So I'm like, you know what? I'm good with my hands, with DIYs, with making things. Let me make my hair. And I started off doing DIY hairstyle on a budget, and that was one of the first things that took me up, right? It didn't take me to where I wanted to, but it took me higher than the beauty makeup videos did, right? So I'm like, okay, this thing was inside me. Why was I hiding it all along? And I continued creating like hair videos, braiding videos, cheap crochet look, and the girls were loving it, and I was loving it because I still enjoyed doing what I was doing, right? And then when I started creating, and I was getting the traction, something inside me was telling me, like, I was so obsessed with all the top YouTubers setup that I was looking for more budget options, like more affordable ways to get the pro level setup. So I started obsessing over setup, over lighting, cameras, gears, and all that, and looking for how to grow. I would watch all my favorite YouTubers videos and see what they are doing, see their setup, look for what camera they are using. I would write it down, and I found all the cameras, all the setup. I would look at their background. I'll try to replicate it. This was my ongoing YouTube masterclass that I was doing in my own little corner. So I would learn all these things, and I'm like, I became so obsessed with it that it wasn't a thing of obsession, it was a thing of love. I still love like setup, get the best quality lighting, camera, lenses. Oof, that's like my weak point and my strength as well. Anything gadgets, anything quality, like when I see the quality that comes out of my camera, it makes me happy, and I'm like, it is all worth it. So I figured that I was passionate about content creation, setting up production, and that was something that I was loving. And I think I said this in my previous video. You should be open to growing and being able to explore your other passions and your other like love interest, right? So I started exploring that, and something that I realized was it was so hard for me to figure out how to set up, because not a lot of people were doing that on YouTube as at then, right? So I'm like, okay, since I've watched all these videos from all these top beauty gurus, and I know what their setup is like, I know how they set up, I know how they film, let me just create a more budget-friendly alternative for the girls on YouTube who want the same setup, right? So I started doing that, right? I started doing that. Affordable setup to film on mobile phone, affordable setup to film on your camera, lighting setup. I started doing everything. I started exploring all my love interests, right? And then I started sharing with you guys like how to set up, how to film, lighting setup, camera setup, best lenses, how to get a blurry background. Those were the things that I was kind of figuring out myself. And in the journey of figuring out myself, I became a master at it, and I decided to share with you guys because that was a gap that was missing on YouTube as at then, right? And that was another of my gold mine as well. Now, when I started growing, I started realizing some things when it came to YouTube growth. And it became very obvious to me on how to grow because I was seeing the tractions based on the things that I was doing, and I started really maximizing it. Now I started diving into digital marketing, into like content creation, into growth, YouTube growth strategies, because I was growing and I wanted to master it and know why am I growing. Now, if you've watched any of my previous videos, you know that I'm kind of obsessed with my analytics. I started going behind the scenes, behind my YouTube studio, knowing what's happening, audience, average view duration, length of videos, geographical location, where are my people based, what questions are they asked in the comment section. I started really being obsessed with numbers and analytics, because numbers don't lie, analytics don't lie either. They hold your past and the future of your channel, because it'll give you, if you're able to understand analytics, you'll be able to kind of sort of predict your channel success. Because what analytics will tell you is that if a video is doing so well, if you continue doing more of A videos, there's a possibility that you do so well. So it's more or less like prediction and understanding. So I started kind of diving into YouTube strategy and all that, and it worked for me. So what am I saying? I hope I'm not rambling too much, but in summary, all I'm saying is sometimes what you're doing now might not be your ultimate. It might not be the path for you. It doesn't necessarily mean you're not knowledgeable about it, right? It just means that maybe you've not found the gap that you're supposed to fill. And even if you found that gap, it will probably take you time for you to be recognized, right? So I found different gaps at different points and stages in my life, and that has helped me grow. Now, this story I'm telling you is a story of 2 years ago, right? Now I'm in a different space of my life and on my channel growth, right? That I know that there's gonna be a gap in this space. It could be something else. It could be in terms of fitness, right? I'm in this journey, this fitness journey. I'm trying to love myself again. I'm trying to get back to how I was pre-pregnancy and pre-motherhood. And like I'm not trying to be fit. I'm going to the gym. So that could be another gap that I might feel in the future. Or it could be something else, right? What I'm saying is be open to change and be open to exploring other interests of yours, right? The question I want to ask you if you're watching this video is, why did you pick that niche? Because something that I understood from the question, from what you said in the question that you asked, was that you started watching videos on how to grow, and that kind of inspired you to create videos on how to grow on YouTube, not the other way around, right? So are you doing it because other people are doing it? Are you doing it because you think it's what would make you grow fast? Or are you doing it genuinely because that is what you enjoy doing? Because something I know when it comes to creating content is when you're creating content that you actually genuinely love and you're not seeing the results, in most times it doesn't discourage you as much as when you're creating content that you don't love and then you're expecting so much from it, right? I see a lot of fashion girlies that just love creating fashion videos. It makes them happy. They love to look good. So why not create about like fashion and stuff? So most times when you're doing things that genuinely makes you happy, there's an energy that comes out of it and it attracts people, right? It speaks to the universe. It speaks to God. It lets people know that like I'm good at it and I love it, and people can see through. So I'm going to check out your channel when I'm done with getting ready, but I kind of wanted to break down my own experience, right? And let you know that I didn't start off, you started off one step ahead of me, because you started off with a camera. I didn't start off with a camera. Most people don't even start off with a camera. That is always a huge investment to make. And what I'd like to say is, like, before you make that kind of investment, you either are seeing results that it's worth investing in, right? Or you have the money somewhere, like you've saved up for it to the point whereby if you invest into buying a camera, you're not going to shake. It's not going to make you broke or make you depressed because you're not getting the return on investment. YouTube is a long-term investment. I always say like it's a content bank. You just create and put in the hopes that even if people don't see it now, in the next 2 months, 3 months, 1 year, people will see it. And I say 1 year, yes. I can show you a video of mine now that I posted a year ago, and now YouTube is picking it up. I'm making money from it every single day. And now, I wouldn't say it's going viral, but it's getting a lot more traction than it did when I first posted it a year ago. I have a lot of videos that I posted 3 years ago, 4 years ago that are picking up right now. So, don't worry about what results you're seeing or you're not seeing. Focus more on figuring out if that is what you want to continue creating. If you see yourself advancing in that field, and if your answer is yes, then keep doing what you're doing, but always look for ways on how you can improve what you're doing. As long as you're improving, then you're good. What I kind of wanted to highlight is the fact that it probably isn't you, it could be your strategy. So it's not you, it could be your strategy. You said that you created like YouTube growth content, YouTube strategy content. Sometimes you need to figure out if that's what you really enjoy doing, and also figure out what the kind of audience you want. Create like an audience persona, like visualize your ideal type of audience, right? And then figure out what their biggest problems are or will be, and then look for a fresh angle using your unique attributes. Add that to it, and then look for how to create content to help them. So the thing about YouTube is that it is community driven, but you are the one driving that vehicle. You are the one creating that content, building that force. But you also have to put in mind that you're not creating the content for you. You might be the inspiration behind the content, but also always factor in the people in front of the screens watching you at the end of the day. For anyone who is thinking of starting off a YouTube channel or has started off a YouTube channel, it's so important to figure out or to know exactly what drives you, right? Whatever drives you should be bigger than just you. It should be something that you cannot quantify, right? Figure what that is. That is usually your why, right? When you're starting off a business, you need to know like why, right? Have that in mind, because that is what will keep you going, right? So figure out your why, figure out the drive behind it. That would what will sustain you. I don't know if I want to style my hair or how I want my hair to be styled, but this is what we are looking like right now. It's important to see your growth as a marathon, not as a sprint, right? Growth definitely does take time. And I know it feels like it's moving at a very slow pace, but I want to assure you that you're not the first, you're not the 10th, the 100th, the 1,000, the 10,000. Like, it's a normal process for everyone who starts off, whether it's creating content or business. The first stage or stages are usually like the slowest, but with consistency, with determination, with experimenting, with trying new things, with perseverance, you're guaranteed to go somewhere and do amazing things and create amazing things. So don't be scared to try out a different type of content if you feel like this one isn't working for you, or try out a different platform if you feel like the platform that you're using now, which is YouTube, isn't working for you. As long as you enjoy creating, you can create in different ways on different platforms, right? And again, don't use your camera as a yardstick to measure your success. Consider it as a tool to enhance your content, right? When we invest in equipment, we're not using it to get success or to measure our success or to be more successful. No, whenever I buy a new camera, I'm usually very delicate with the type of camera that I buy, because I like to stay on budget as well. And I'm using it to also enhance the content that I'm creating. Now, if cameras were a measure of success, best believe I'll probably be buying the most expensive gears just so I could get the most success. But it doesn't work that way. It's all about the content, the message, and the person delivering the message. This right here is the finished glam look, and I hope you guys enjoy this Get Ready With Me video. But I want to quickly go over to IamWizzy's profile and kind of see what he has going on. Okay, so I can see that he's doing a lot of beginner YouTuber startup tips, tricks, YouTube strategy, YouTube growth strategy. That's basically the basis of his content. Let me watch the latest one and kind of see.
The fact that you are a new content creator does not limit you from still bagging brand deals and still getting offers from brands or business opportunities.
Can we talk about how gorgeous you're looking right now? Your brows are like, maybe you could share some tips, but obviously I can't watch this whole thing now.
So if you're interested in this video, what are you waiting for? My name is Amonyaka. I'm a content creator based here in Nigeria. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe to the channel.
Your background music is definitely too high. I can kind of hear it's almost overshadowing what you're saying. So reduce it a little bit. I'm still kind of trying to understand. So he says, I'm wisdom, a lifestyle, and masculine hygiene fashion creator. Okay, so your bio says one thing, but your content says another. I can't say anything lifestyle on here. I can't say anything masculine hygiene or fashion on here. So it feels like you're conflicting yourself. It feels like you are putting out, it feels like you're genuinely a lifestyle and hygiene fashion creator kind of person, but you're putting out these contents, which are like YouTube growth strategies, because you feel like this is what would get you the traction and the views that you want. But sometimes we might be in the wrong space at the wrong time. So figure out what the right space might be for you. You never know until you kind of try it out and experiment and just be happy doing whatever you're doing, regardless of whatever you're seeing in terms of traction and all that. But yeah, that's what I'm going to say. I can't go deep into like analyzing your channel, but that's what I can see surface level. So definitely try something else if you feel like this isn't working for you. But if I'm being honest with you, I'm looking at your subscriber and view ratio. I think it's pretty decent. You have almost 500 subscribers, but then you're getting views of 500, 400, 200, 100. It's not a lot. Definitely could be better. 50. Okay, now I can see it dropping down drastically. So what I'm going to say is, because I can see like the last videos you've been putting out for the last 3 months have been getting like 70 views or thereabout, which isn't so good. So it's either with the way you're delivering the content or the content itself. Maybe you're not optimizing it the best way possible, or the content is a bit flat. So look for how you can improve on it. Really analyze and criticize yourself and ask yourself if this is what you want to be doing. If this is what you want to be doing, then look for like ways on how you can improve, right? But I'm gonna leave it there because I don't want to go deep into it. That would take me like probably the whole day. But that's all I can see. There's a conflict between what you say you do and then what you're doing in terms of what's in the about page. Your about page says you're a lifestyle guy, you're a fashion guy, but then your content itself says that you are a YouTube growth person. So maybe that's the kind of content you want to be creating. So feel free to experiment and see what works for you. But definitely love your brows though. I'm gonna say that. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I will see you in another one. Feel free to ask me any question down below. I will leave the link right there in the description box, just the first line there, and I'll leave the link over here as well. So feel free to engage. Also feel free to interact down in the comment section. Share your thoughts if you feel like you can relate to my story, his story, anyone's story, your story. Share it down. I want this to be a your question, our answer community, in the sense that everyone participates and feels like they are part of this journey. So yeah, I've said all that I wanted to say, and yeah, I will see you in another episode, in another video. Till then, make sure you stay blessed, stay fabulous, and stay amazing. Feel free to subscribe, like, share, comment, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye guys.